Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. I have had this book for a while, and I forgot to include it in my coloring book collection because I had this over by all of my how-to books. My colored pencil books and etc. So I may sometime go through all of those and show you what I have. But this is a coloring workbook, and it is called Enchanting Fairies. It is by Barbara Lanza, and I will link this down below. I believe I got this on Amazon, so if I can find it, I will link it down below. It is Explore New Coloring Techniques. So it goes through and it tells you some different ways, some different techniques of coloring. So we will go ahead and flip through this book. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Gives you a table of contents and explains, okay, the introduction, color, marker strokes, blending color over color, dramatic effects, pointillism, cross-hatching, defining shapes, pastel patterns, deepening values, play with colored pencil layering, and then finally an about the author page. So here is an introduction. It says, I won't read the whole thing, but welcome to Enchanting Fairies Color Workbook. The intention of this book is to offer you new ways to apply color to a large selection of fairy pictures. It says, begin by studying the action, setting, and fairy clothing. Then decide from the techniques offered which color method is most suitable for capturing the mood. These pictures have resulted from drawings made of my children and their friends in real and imagined surroundings. Down here it says what you need will be colored pencils, markers, crayons, oil pastels, pencils for adding details to wings and fairy clothing, and a sharpener. Now I'm sure if you don't have the crayons and the oil pastels, you don't absolutely need that in order to use this book. Here it talks about color and color theory with a little fairy on there. Talks about the color wheel and color harmony, going through primary colors, secondary, tertiary, and complementary. Then it talks about marker strokes and techniques on how to get these. So this would kind of be interesting, or useful, I should say, in regard to like using your Copics maybe for doing hair and flicking the marker to get these types of strokes. Then we have here a woodland fairy that you could practice some of them on. I love the pictures in this book. It is so cute. They are single-sided, and this is a ring-bound book. Here is a baby fairy in Wild Rose. So cute. Adolescent fairy on Windflower. Mother and child. Isn't that cute? I just love this picture. Morning fairy. You can also practice your raindrops, dewdrops. Noon fairy. Night fairy. Earth fairy. Then it has the next technique, which is blending color over color. Tells you how to apply the first layer, adding a medium hue, adding a third color, and then finishing it with the dark hue. Here it talks about how to create your dramatic effects, applying the color, second color, and then finishing it off. So then here are your pictures that you can practice that on. Here is a water fairy, fire fairy. And this paper is very nice, quite smooth, but yet I believe it would take pencil great too. Here's a summer fairy, autumn fairy, winter fairy, fairy dance, that's cute, hydrangea fairy. So this would be great to practice your blending on too. Rafe defends the realm. Then we get to the next technique, which is pointillism. I know some of you do use this technique in your coloring. It says pointillism defines texture and adds interest. Try it on part or all of a picture. You can apply an overall hue first before applying the dots. So here it talks about applying your first layer of dots, adding a second color, laying down a third color, and then finishing it. And it goes into cross-hatching, which I know is another technique that some of you use. And again, it goes through some of the techniques for using cross-hatching. This one is getting into the curved line cross-hatching, which I guess I have never really heard of, but it makes sense. Misty came to join us here. Here is a fairy with Pegasus. Is it Panra? Amber Fall Sprite. Gina and her new friend. Oh, that is adorable. In a nest. Scent of a Rose. Oh, this could be really nice to color in. Winter Fairy. Oh, must not have been interesting enough. Misty jumped down. Bouquet Fairy. Doesn't she have the cutest pictures in here? Toddler elf on a mushroom. Musician Fairy. Star Fairy. Valentine Fairies. Oh, that would be cute for Valentine's Day, huh? Hanging the Moon. Now the next technique is defining shapes. It says cover the shape, add layer to the perimeter, and then finishing it off. To me, this would be one of the more interesting techniques for me. Then it talks about pastel patterns, applying your color, drawing some shapes in it, and then finishing it off. Oh, I love this. Dogwood Fairy Tea Time. The mouse. Apple Blossom Mother and Baby Fairies. Cute. Fairy with floral skirt. Oh, isn't that pretty? Fairy family at home. These flowers would be pretty to shade in. Snow Keeper. Your next technique is deepening values. So it talks about how using vertical lines closer and closer together will deepen the value. And then this one I never heard of. It's using dashes and then getting them closer and closer together to create your dark value. And on the back side is play with colored pencil layering. And I know this is one of the most common techniques used by everybody who colors with colored pencil, is the layering technique. Pick your base color, go lighter over the top and then darker. Apply color, add your second layer, and then finishing. So here are the pictures that you can practice with that. Now, of course, any of these pictures in here, you can use any of the techniques, but this is how she laid the book out. Here's Hollyhock Fairies, Fall Sprite, Blue Sprite, Elf swinging. Oh, I like that too. Apple fairies. Oh, that's cute too. Oh, I said there's such adorable pictures in here. Fairy trailing flowers. And yeah, I totally forgot I had this book. Oh, look at that. Baby fairy in wild rose nest. Oh my heavens, is that not adorable? Oh, fairy feast, eating the strawberries. Mothers and babies. Her with her baby, and the birdie with her babies. Bubbling with happiness. Here too, you could practice doing your bubbles. Running with a butterfly. Flights of fancy. Scattering stars. Then it gets to the back, and here it talks about the author, Barbara Lanza, unless it's Lanza. Just kind of gives some acknowledgments, dedication, and then in the back, it talks about other books, ideas, instruction, inspiration. It says download free pages at impact-books.com/fairies-color-workbook. Then it says check out these impact titles at impact-books.com. So there are some additional books that I may be checking out. So here it tells you, gives some of the social media, free Facebook, things like that. So I just thought this was a very interesting book. With it being spiral bound, I'm sure it would be relatively easy if you have a copier on your printer to copy pages out of this book. Or if you would want to, I wouldn't, but if you would want to X-Acto them out and make copies. So that is the color workbook, Enchanting Fairies by Barbara Lanza. Again, I believe I got this on Amazon, but it was a while ago, so I'll have to see if it is still available. And if it is, I will put it in the description below. If it's not, I will indicate that also, so you know I didn't just forget about putting it in the description. So I hope you all enjoyed seeing this workbook. I thought it was kind of interesting, and I am in the future, near future, hopefully, going to get this book out, and I'm going to try a few things in here. So if you like this video, give me that thumbs up, and I hope everybody is having a terrific day, and happy coloring.